It's the Full Court Press with Eric Frandsen and Jason Walker.
Welcome back to the to the show that we're doing right now.
Following the local teams, breaking down the biggest games with in-depth analysis and team interview. Join the show by calling into 435-752-1069 or text 435-339-0321. It's the Full Court Press.
Rose, ends it. Yes! Caught! Touchdown! They did it!
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome on in to another edition of the Full Court Press. Happy Friday. It's a special time of the week, special time of the year, actually. You got the Cache County Fair and Rodeo that's been going on. You got Raspberry Days taking place over in Garden City in Lake Town. And it's our good friend Ajay Salvesen's birthday. It's a big day. Big day around here. Everybody celebrates. These county fair and rodeo, and then in Raspberry Days. What people don't realize, those are true celebrations of Ajay Salvesen. You thought they were community celebrations that have been going on for a long time. What you don't know is that those are community celebrations to party for Ajay. Yes.
So when we figured we'd bring Ajay on the show.
Who's we? You didn't even know I was coming on.
I guess that's true.
I walk into the building. Is Ajay on the show? You know what? Yeah, I am. Actually, you know what?
He
I'm
kind
going
of
to be.
sneaks into the building and lurks over my shoulder. He's like filming me.
I took photos. I have some great photos I want to post on social media.
Did you get a photo of his face when he turned around? And
Yeah, he did actually. His eyes got wide. I got,
oh no!
I got the inside of his eyeball. Wait, hey, can you guys hear me?
I think so.
Okay, just want to make sure. Oh,
I mean, I've got one ear off the headphones.
I'm telling you. I come in this place like, hey, is this working? Doubt it, but let's do a show anyways.
Yeah, let's just do it.
Let's just wing it. Free ball it. Hi, guys. Thanks for the birthday wish. Unnecessarily done, but thank you. So I was supposed to have dinner.
You had a couple birthday wishes come through today.
Yeah, I've had probably one too many birthday wishes. I don't know how people find out either, because like some people I'm like, wait, how did you know it was my birthday? I didn't tell you.
Including former and now current jazz man George Niang.
Okay, that guy. If this wasn't a family-friendly show, I would tell that guy to go to some place.
What did he ever do to you? He came up to Logan
because
once.
he
came to an Aggie football game.
I know, and do you know what? People booed him because they realized his worthlessness.
They were so excited to see him.
They booed him more than the opposing team got booed. He got booed. Someone
said came up with
Donovan Mitchell and Royce O'Neal.
Well, he also came and did a Utah Jazz camp.
Oh, junior jazz?
Yeah, like a junior jazz. It's like a camp. I remember going to it, and I interviewed him for.
You interviewed him at the Utah Jazz junior camp?
I did.
Was it like all 20 kids there?
Yeah, something like that. And it lasted for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, I would imagine. He's like, all right, let me teach you how to shoot. You know what? I can't shoot.
The Jazz guy that came with him, like the second they walk into the gym, all right, everybody, let's go get a basketball. Just lines everyone up. They got through that thing as fast as they could.
Oh, yeah. Those guys don't want to be. I mean, look, the kids, I love how the kids' excitement are, but those players don't want to be there. And if I was a kid, I wouldn't want to. If my mom forced me to go to a George Niang Utah Jazz junior camp, I'd say, Mom, absolutely not.
Call CPS.
Yeah. I'd like to call the police.
George Niang is a good guy. And I don't know why you hate him so much.
Because here's the thing. He wasted so much money of the Utah Jazz. And then he went to Boston and wasted so much money of the Celtics.
He hasn't played a minute for Boston.
He went there like just a few weeks.
Yeah, exactly. And Boston was like, why is he here? He's wasting our money. He's wasting our taxpayer money. He's wasting the city's money, the mayor's money, the governor's money. And so finally they said, yeah, you know what? You're right. Let's get rid of him because he wasn't good in Cleveland. He was going to be horrible in Boston. Get rid of him. Send him to the Jazz, who actually don't give a crap whether they're good or bad.
He was on the good Jazz team.
Was he actually? I mean, look, him and Royce O'Neal, I swear, were trying to find ways to lose the game for the Jazz.
At least Royce was okay on defense. Royce was just afraid to shoot the ball.
No, Royce would be the problem with Royce is I call him sideline Royce because his foot was always out of bounds.
Yes.
He would catch the ball out of bounds.
I said he was kind of useless.
Mr. Hustle.
Eric loved Royce O'Neal. I still to this day do not understand what you liked about that guy on the Jazz team.
He was useless, just about useless on offense. He would hit threes every now and again, and he was good on defense. But the problem was he was the best perimeter defender on the Jazz.
Was he?
Well, the thing
Yeah,
is,
at the time, yes.
yeah, but the problem is that was a low bar to clear.
Yeah, okay, that's a good point to put
That
it.
was
That's a
the
great way
issue,
to
is
put
that
it.
if Royce O'Neal is your best perimeter defender, you had issues, and the Jazz had issues. So you had Royce O'Neal guarding James Harden. It was like, yeah, I don't know how that's going to go, my guy.
I just can't tell you how disgusting. Hey, did we get 2 second-round picks with that as well?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Boston was like, you know what? Take him in here. And just so you will take him, we'll give you a couple more picks.
Yeah, and they gave him the undrafted free agent they signed out of
Two-way
like,
player.
That's how bad Boston want to get rid of George Niang. The Italian medallion.
They had to shed a lot of money.
it was a salary thing.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it was. They don't hate Royce or George Niang.
I could tell you that. I mean,
They got rid of a lot of cash this summer.
When they do the Night of the Pros thing and Nemias shows up, I'm like, hey, Nemias, will you just tell me how bad did you hate George Niang?
And it'll be like
Joe Mazzulla shows up like, Joe, how happy
who?
were you?
they might not have even met him.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe, like when you heard and you met George Niang, what was your first thoughts? Bench him, cut him, or just throw him out of the arena?
People like, he was the best guy I ever met in my life.
Gosh, I swear. I'm going to ask him a really stupid question just so I can get that look from Joe that all the other reporters get in Boston. Like one of those questions. Like, you ever see Joe Mazzulla interviews where someone asks a really dumb question and he's like, I'm like, oh, all right, yeah. I want to get the look from Mazzulla.
Go into the Young
yes.
Power Sports of Logan text line 9773 says George Niang's junior jazz camp is Ajay's ninth circle of hell. Wake up in a cold sweat thinking about it.
Oh, dude, yeah. I can't believe you went there and did an interview either. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, I think he might be the only professional athlete like in the major professional sports that I've actually interviewed.
You're
At
not
least while they were a pro, because I mean technically I've interviewed Sam and Nemi and whatnot, but
Yeah, you're not missing anything. They're all a bunch of jerks.
I have
big
talked
egos.
to a different pro, but it wasn't an official interview. I just talked to Walker Kessler, so
Hey, that counts.
that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was just there as a fan, though.
We got another text that came in, actually.
Is there another one?
2444 as the
I
show
missed this.
began. If the Aggies were to lead the Mountain West in one major team statistical category for football this season, what would it be?
I can think of some negative ones.
Yeah, me too.
But if they lead the Mountain West in one major team,
I guess major team. Okay, I was
statistical
thinking
category.
of some obscured categories like quarterback rushing yards or quarterback fumbles. I could see both of those happening just because how much Bryson Barnes may get used.
quarterback rushing yards may not be a negative.
Well, the negative one was quarterback fumbles. The positive
Yes.
one was quarterback rushing yards. And I've already made the claim about that, the QB rushing yards.
Wait, lead the conference? Is
Yes.
Oh, dude, I don't think there's.
I have a hard rushing yards maybe, but the problem is Air Force exists.
Yeah.
So
And I'm not so sure Boise State isn't still going to be king of
Yeah.
the backs coming up here. They got a couple good ones.
yeah, 'cause-
Tackles.
By the safeties, probably.
is that a major team? Like, do they even track like team tackles?
Team tackles.
I never
don't
really
know.
see team tackles.
Because the defense might be on the field more than the offense. Actually, I don't. I think the offense will be okay.
Okay, so I mean, but
But the
seriously,
defense may struggle to get the opposing team off the field, so therefore they may be on the field.
Okay,
more.
well, it's okay. And Jason, you're such a numbers guy. This maybe not is a major stat because I can't really think of one. Pace of play.
like time of possession.
Yeah, because this team is going to be very
Well, again, Air Force
slow.
Air Force tends to dominate. Time
But
of
I think
possession,
Utah
too.
State's going to find a way to be just as slow. I think they are going to be incredibly opposite, as very much opposite you possibly can be, of like the 2018/2019 Aggies.
Yeah.
I think there's a chance that I guess I'd be dead last in time of possession. No, not be first, right? Time of possession to be first.
If you hold the
I'll
ball-
say time of possession.
If you hold the ball long enough, yeah. So it depends on what you consider major, because
and that's what I was saying. I don't know.
because that's what a lot of people track. Because major would be points, yards, like those are your major.
Yeah, but I mean, you're not going to lead
but
them
you could
points. Like,
expand
let's
that,
be honest with each other.
You could expand that to like third down stuff or time of possession. So I think those ones. If you're looking at leading and passing, no, they're not going to lead in passing. Leading and rushing, maybe they could get second behind Air Force. Like I think that's kind of their peak.
Fresno's going to run the ball a lot.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot more rushing this year from some of these teams because the quarterback play is not going to be particularly great. So teams are going to run the ball a lot. So, but they're going to be good in rushing. So maybe they could end up high up there. But again, you just can't beat a team when they're rushing 60 times a game. Even if they're worse at running the ball than you, they're going to get more yards.
Sure.
I mean, passing touchdowns, no. Rushing touchdowns, kind of similar reasons for rushing yards. Like you really have to go into more obscure things. Third downs, penalties, things like that. It's possible they could lead in some of those. But yeah, I don't know if I don't think they're going to lead in sacks.
No.
Maybe there's a chance they lead in interceptions.
Okay, what about punt? I guess, and again, it's obscure, I guess, as you would say, but block punts?
I think the problem is that everyone keys in on Ike Larson.
Yeah,
so
that's a good point. Someone's got to
that's something I talked about him with during the interview that I did with him. Is like he basically doesn't get block punts anymore, kind of for the same reason. Like Savon Scarver had one kick return touchdown in his final 2 years because he got 5 in the first 2 years and then nobody kicked to him anymore.
Yeah.
Like the one time they kicked to him in the final 2 years, he ran it back for a touchdown. So sure you could, but if you're going to get, for Ike Larson, if he gets double teamed on every punt, what's he supposed to do?
Yeah.
There is a positive aspect to that because then somebody else might block a punt. So maybe the team could do that if they find another dynamic player that creates a situation where teams can't double team multiple guys. But I don't know.
Eric, what about you? Thoughts?
On a statistical category? I don't know if it's
wins.
Well, I guess we'd have to figure out team statistical categories across the Mountain West. Because I would think of one defensively that I would probably think about.
Here, I'll pull up. I'll give it a second. I'll pull up the full list of stats. And
hey, what about? Okay, this sounds crazy because we don't know what this team looks like. I mean, just on the field, we have no clue. It's about as good of a mystery as you could ask for. I feel like our offensive line could be better this year. What about not allowing sacks?
Least allowed sacks?
Yeah, I know it's obscure, but still.
It's kind of your major offensive line stat. I would think that's possible. Part of that being Bryson Barnes' ability to run, although sometimes running quarterbacks can weirdly get sacked more often because they're kind of overconfident and get themselves into trouble.
With their feet instead of their head.
I think the issue is I don't know if the Utah State's offensive line is going to be better. I think kind of at best it'll be about as good as last year.
Okay.
If you lose 5 starters, it's hard to be better after you lose 5 starters. You can be about as good.
But here's the thing: is that Petrus wasn't helping you. I thought Petrus made the offense worse than better.
How?
I mean, how effective was our offense?
He was the best thrower.
Yeah, but I mean
he got the ball out quicker.
Was it accurate?
He read the defense better.
I mean, you can throw the ball quick, but can you be accurate with it? I think there's just too many times where, I
thought he was
third and medium,
Yeah.
I mean, for a lot of the games,
there were some throws that he missed, but I thought he was the most accurate quarterback in the group.
For a lot of the games he was in, they scored a lot of points. They scored 45 against Temple. They scored 30 against Boise State. They scored 34 against UNLV. They scored 45 against New Mexico. I'm not going to stand up too much for Petrus.
Okay,
because I think he was an okay quarterback, but he wasn't the problem.
Hold on, though. Dude, Ashton Jeanty sat the whole entire second half against Utah State. I mean, they were pulling off the dogs at halftime.
Boise State scored 62. Utah State wasn't even close in that one, but that's if.
And by the way, a lot of those completions were to Jalen Rose. Jalen Rose had nuts numbers that day by halftime.
Yeah. You could put up the same argument for Logan Bonner and Devin Tompkins in 2021.
Yeah. Oh, I would agree with you on that. And Temple was horrible. Temple was so bad.
Yeah, but Utah State's offense did about as good as it was going to do. Obviously you could wish to have an elite quarterback, and sure. They probably would have done better. But as far as being a quarterback, Petrus was average. Did he help the offense? No, I wouldn't say that.
But you don't think he made him worse?
Did he hurt the offense? Not especially. Obviously, you could point to certain throws or plays and say he hurt him here, and it's I'm sure a lot of those plays exist. They lost games plenty of times, but I don't think he hurt the offense. And I spent all of last season saying Bryson Barnes isn't going to make this team significantly. But I remember having an argument on Twitter with somebody who was saying
we had that argument on this show.
Well, they're talking about that Bryson Barnes would have won Utah State the New Mexico game, and it's Utah State scored 45 points in the New Mexico game.
I don't agree with that.
What on earth was the offense doing?
I'm with you on that one.
It's the offense wasn't the issue last year. They finished the year ranked 36th in points per game.
In the country?
And some of that was garbage time scoring. Boise State kind of point and case in that one, or case and point, excuse me. Don't need to get my metaphors backwards or statements backwards. But it's just, I don't know. Where how did we get started on
So
Patriots?
this text came through. What?
Couple more texts coming through. Let's get to a few more. 5452. Ajay! I have to say it like it was texted in.
Yeah.
Thank you.
9773. How are you even supposed to guess a category they're supposed to be good at? The football team is like Bigfoot. I don't know if they exist. And every supposed picture or video of them is filmed with a potato and from a sketchy source.
That might be the best metaphor for this team.
That's a really
I've
good
heard
metaphor.
Yet.
Yes.
Utah
Have you
State is
guys?
Bigfoot.
And I know because Eric, you've been around, Utah State football for a long, long time. Al Lewis,
And I've
taking
snuck into a lot of practices this year.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen anything like this, though? And I understand why he's doing. I'm not saying anything against it. I'm just asking you if you've ever seen anything like
No,
it.
never. No, just the access. Like there were times where access was not quite there with maybe Brent Guy or McDenny. Just open practices just wasn't really a thing.
Yeah.
Open practices typically haven't been like not having open practices is not unusual.
Right. Yeah. Matt Wells started to open those up. Blake was very open about a lot of that.
But to be this black veiled curtain, I've never seen that in my life.
But like there
No-
would be
no spring
times
scrimmage,
where
no fall scrimmage.
was closed or practices were closed, but sometimes a couple of guys from the media could go in for the last 15, 20 minutes of it.
Or sometimes they would just have the media in there. And usually if it was closed to the public, it's because they had it in the indoor because it was raining or whatever.
Right.
And you can't fit people into the indoor. It's just...
They still let some media in, so you knew what to generally ask.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you can fit a handful of media in there, but you can't fit the 200 or 300 fans that would show up to a scrimmage in the indoor. It doesn't.
But
have
this
to.
is the no access in the spring, and so far no access in the fall. It's very unusual.
Yeah,
because their family football fun days now. It's just like let the kids on the field kind of a thing and play around, right?
The most unusual thing about this is the lack of public scrimmages. Because closed practices, that's been a thing just depending on coach. They'll close practice. Even some coaches have gone back and forth between that.
Sure.
But not putting this team in front of the fans at all in any capacity on the field is something that I've not really seen from any team at all. And I know I've not been doing this job forever, but I've just not seen that from anyone.
And maybe we could ask the listeners this, your guys' listeners, but does that excite them? Like, make them anxious to go see game number 1 against UTEP, or does that kind of frustrate the fan base of like?
I need a discussion yesterday.
We need to put a poll out and be like,
I'm serious though. I wonder if that makes them anxious.
Are you more likely to go because you're anxious to see the team, or are you more likely to kind of wait and see because you have no clue what this team is? There's no word of mouth about how good the team is. Nobody knows anything. Nobody knows who the starters are.
Dude, even Phil Steele got cut off. Like when he asked about, awards he does for his magazine or something, or and they just said, can't tell you. I have no idea. He didn't put anything in because he had nothing for him.
Another text coming through 8003. Happy birthday, Ajay. Since it's your birthday, we, as Full Court Press listeners, give you permission to slap those two knuckleheads in the studio with you for all the crap they throw your way.
That sounds wonderful. It sounds better though was a moon pie. I wish you guys would have bought me a moon pie for my
pies.
birthday.
Man, we haven't had those in the studio for a little while.
Oh, shame on you.
Jason, I'll have to get you some.
Yeah. Jason could eat. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Yeah.
We got to take a time out here on the Full Court Press. We do have a show planned besides just giving Ajay a hard time, but we do appreciate the texts coming through. Interesting topic question there asked from one of the listeners. But we'll continue to get into that. There's some NFL preseason games happening. A couple notable ones this weekend with some former Aggies. So we touched on this slightly yesterday with our Pick 6 items, but we'll dive into that a little bit deeper. And also reveal the next player on our list of top Aggies for 2025.
The top 25 Aggies.
we
have branding
to highlight for this upcoming season. It's next on the Full Court Press, and it's Ajay's birthday.
It's time to make the outdoor living improvements you've talked about. Castellite in Logan has everything you need to turn your backyard get-together into a backyard event. If you need pavers for a walkway, a retaining wall for your garden, or to reshape a flower bed, or a fire pit to roast marshmallows, think Castellite. Their experts will reduce your DIY stress for brick, block, rock, paver, and tile. Go where the pros go. Online at Castellite.com.
Express Tires for less.
Safety and comfort on the road are Express Tire's top priority. As a Point S team member, count on peace of mind with an inclusive warranty that includes nationwide protection. Any brand, any size, better pricing. No appointment necessary on the highway at 3200 North Main.
Express tires for less.
Need a reliable partner for your medical needs? Look no further than Triton Medical and Transportation. We offer top quality medical soft goods right here in your community. From incontinence supplies and oxygen needs to medical transportation. Whatever you need to stay comfortable and healthy, we've got you covered. Trust Triton Medical and Transportation, caring for our community with every step, every mile. Call us today at 435-557-6687 or visit us online at mytritonsupply.com. Triton Medical and Transportation, because your health matters.
Northern Utah and Southern Idaho's home for sports. It's the Full Court Press on Sports Talk Radio, 106.9 FM, 1390 AM. The Fan.
Cache Valley's biggest garage sale is coming up on September 6th. It's going to be at the Eccles Ice Arena parking lot. If you've got stuff to sell, it's a great time to do it. Put it all in one place. And you're going to have Utah State students back on campus, back in the Valley. It's a great time to sell your stuff. Find out more. Just Google Cache Valley's biggest garage sale. Take you to the right page. Fill out the form and get your space registered today.
Come find me. I'll have some really good radio equipment that is definitely not taken from the garage out back.
We come in the next morning. Where are all the microphones?
Like, where are all the company vehicles? People are driving around with a fan van. I need to drive that thing around more often. It just kind of sits back there, doesn't do anything. I'm just going to start driving it around. Eric won't even notice.
So Ajay Salvesen in studio, special guest today. It's his birthday. So text in, let him know how much you feel about Ajay on 435-339-0321. And a couple different topics today. NFL preseason is underway. Had a few games last night, a bunch more games Saturday and Sunday. Do we have any games tonight?
Heck yeah, the Pats are playing, baby.
Oh, yeah, we do have.
The Pats and the Commander, and guess what they're doing in 25 minutes, Jason?
Oh, no, we don't have anything tonight.
They're unveiling the Tom Brady statue.
See, I hadn't realized they were putting that up until I saw it.
Wait, what?
I just saw a picture of it.
I saw a post.
Eric, did you actually see a picture, or are you just trying to fake us out?
No, it's been unveiled. It's officially been unveiled. His arms look longer than normal.
My thought was like, what pose was he going to do? Because I could think of like 3 different poses that I remember him.
He's got his right arm in the air.
Oh, is he just
helmet off?
Oh, is that his "Let's Go" pose? Oh, guys, this is massive. I love me some Tom Brady.
But it's like,
anyways,
huge.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Go
Yeah,
Pats!
so
Woo!
That's it.
Oh, that's sick. Wait, what the crap are we doing? What is that?
Well, it never actually looks like them. Like, it doesn't.
Yeah, but why is he like that? That's the best pose they could come up with.
Yeah, I would have preferred either just him that
freaking looks like Mark Sanchez.
Trot.
Yeah.
Well, then have him crouching like he's ready to receive the ball under center.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or just him and his throwing motion. I think would be.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Because like I can picture his throwing motion in my head.
Or
like most
when he does like the "Let's Go" thing, like, oh man, that gets me fired up.
But I'm sure it's can be hard to capture like an athlete in one pose. There's some athletes that do them, like Ray Lewis has got his. I know with UNLV they got the statue of Tarkin. He's chewing on a towel. It's like that's kind of the iconic. But Tom Brady doesn't necessarily have that like one iconic pose that he did. He was just like. No. He was just kind of stoic and threw the ball and didn't do a lot.
I misspoke. There are 3 games tonight in the NFL.
One involving an Aggie, though I have my doubts that he'll even play in the preseason.
Lions at Falcons at 5, Browns at Panthers also at 5 on the NFL Network, and then at 5:30, Commanders at the Patriots.
Also Bobby Wagner.
Yeah, I say Bobby Wagner will be in that game, but will he even play?
Yeah, there's no way he's playing
when
in this
you're
game.
this much of a veteran in this game. Like I don't know if he'll play a single preseason snap.
Hang out, take your helmet off, have some popcorn from the concession stands.
It's like, will he even be in a jersey? Like,
yeah, I mean, he'll probably be dressed. I don't
cheer on the guys from the sidelines.
Yeah, basically he'll just be there.
Hey, is Derek Wright still with Carolina, or is that? Did he get cut?
No.
Derek Wright, Devin Tompkins, a lot of those guys in that wide receiver class are no longer in the NFL.
That tells you how hard it is to make the NFL.
It is.
How good they were, and they couldn't make
Well,
a
it's just crazy. Like, if Devin Tompkins was like 5'11",
he would have been starting.
He'd still be in the NFL.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. If he had a few more inches on him.
He probably would have won the Biletnikoff, too. He deserved it that,
he was so
that 1
good.
year.
A couple Aggies are a couple other younger Aggies trying to make their rosters. One, I'm pretty sure he's going to be just fine. Another one, he's fighting for time and opportunity. But they both play on Saturday. Chiefs are at the Cardinals Saturday at 6. Jalen Royals has been receiving a lot of praise from coaches and teammates and has become kind of a favorite target of Patrick Mahomes in practices. He's still fighting for opportunities. There's another wide receiver. Is it Rice?
Rashee Rice.
Yeah, he's going to be suspended for like 5 or 6 games. So there's, you don't always love to see opportunities open up like that, but there's a vacancy that could be filled.
His was self-inflicted.
Yeah, that was just stupidity on his part.
But
here's the thing for Jalen. Like, be honest with me, both of you. Does Jalen have a legitimate shot at maybe getting in some way or degree the regular rotation for receivers for the NFL season this year?
Well, I honestly, at this point, I kind of expect it. As far as like regular rotation, because that's like your top 4.
4, yes.
And I expect him at this point to be in that top 4, unless he plays himself out of it at this point, because I think he's played himself into that early in the season.
Yeah.
At least to be on the field. And at that point, the trick is like, you can be a preseason warrior, then suddenly you get into the regular season, it turns out you suck.
Yeah.
That happens to players. And so he needs to get in there, and when the lights are starting to actually shine down in the stadium, he needs to actually perform at that point, catch the ball, run the routes the right way, because he's doing that all right now in training camp. So he's played himself into that opportunity, which we saw that with guys like Devin Tompkins, Darren Wright. They can't even get that opportunity. They barely get it at all, and if they do, it's for a fleeting moment.
Yeah.
Jalen Royals is going to have at least a couple of games at minimum early in the season where he's going to be in that rotation. And so he's going to have the ball thrown his way by Patrick Mahomes. So he's got to make those plays count. And if he does, then obviously that leads to more and more success.
Absolutely. Okay.
That's and I've been reading some things about the Chiefs camp, and there's been some dialogue between Mahomes and Royals. Mahomes will give him some pieces of advice. Try this to create a little bit more separation from your defender. And then Royals does it, and he figures it out, and he adapts quickly. And so Mahomes has a lot of praise for Royals and how well he's been able to receive instruction, remember it, and continue to adapt at the NFL level.
Yeah. Now, I tell you, look at some of the wide receivers, a couple of the wide receivers in the Mountain West, because I saw some stuff about Torrey Horton, who last night with the Seahawks, 3 catches for 31 yards, had a touchdown, had 7 targets. So, he didn't catch as many of the passes he should have, but he got picked in the 5th round, 5th or 6th round, Jalen Royals in the 4th round, and I was like, and, I think Adam Schefter was tweeting out about Torrey Horton, how good of a camp he's had, and I'm like, maybe those guys shouldn't have fallen to the 4th and 5th round, guys of that talent. I haven't checked in on Ricky White in a minute, coming out of UNLV, where it's like, those guys fell so far.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's like, those are 3 of the better receivers in the group of 6, and we all knew they were NFL guys, and I know Horton had some injury problems later in his college career, but there's no reason those guys should have fallen that far.
And the NFL draft is not the science that experts try to make it to be. It's just not. You could say,
They're clueless,
this guy,
Ajay.
yeah, and they really are. The experts are clueless. They are. I mean, and honestly, coaches miss. And owners and front offices miss on draft picks. Tom Brady, 6th round, 199th guy, right? And now, again, that's a once in a generation, once in a lifetime kind of a guy. But it's like some of these other guys, Julian Edelman, again, it's another Patriots guy. But I mean, I'm just saying this because those 5th or 4th round guys can play their way onto a roster, and they can play their way onto the field for very imperative snaps just by executing. You could say, well, he was a 5th round guy, and look how he got it. No, it's just all about executing. And I think guys like Jalen Royals, I think, is one of those guys who can absolutely be a starter on this Chiefs team.
I think it's execution, and I think it's opportunity in the right situation.
Yeah.
Because sometimes guys fall into a bad program. It's not well run, and so they just don't really get that opportunity. But the other guy who's hoping for that opportunity is Kyrese Rowan, who last season for Utah State was owned by Kyrese White. But he's been around Utah State for a while. His dad was Emmett White, and he's been turning some heads with the Broncos camp. And so there's going to be some. He is listed as a starting wide receiver for the.
Is he listed as a starter
for the game for this Saturday?
I thought I read the depth chart and he was further down.
Oh, was he? I thought I saw him listed as an intended starter.
You know what I like about him and his situation?
We'll double check. Well, Ajay speaks.
I think Bo Nix that is a great fit for Kyrie. That is a terrific fit for him. Bo Nix is a guy who is mobile, who, I mean, when in scrambling situations, is looking for your nearest guy, right? The guy who can find a wide open shade of grass within 2 to 3 yards that Nix can find you. That is. I think that's something that where Kyrie, if he plays himself into it and has a good preseason, could be. I don't know if he starts, but I think would get very. I think we get considerable amount of reps as a receiver coming off the bench.
I think you should be able to get some reps. Like, 'cause I'm looking at the one. It's kind of formatted weirdly.
Yeah.
But it looks like there's 2 wide receiver positions and he's 6th string on one of them.
Is he a slot or where is he at? Do you know?
See, I don't know if I knew because
I don't know if he was playing the X or the Y. I thought he was playing X.
If I knew the types of players, the archetypes of these players, I could tell you, is Cortland Sutton more of an...
Oh.
Because that's the other wide receiver position. Problem is, I don't know the archetypes of these guys, but... Cause otherwise
I think when I saw this initially, I misinterpreted looking at that thinking, oh, look, he's right there.
Yeah, so he was like listed in the far left column, but yeah, they've got 5 columns for the depth chart, but they have some that go 6 players deep.
Hey, really quickly, last question, because I know we got to go to break, but Jordan Love, where does the expectations for him need to be? And now with I think it's a very talented roster there for Green Bay. He's had the experience. He's been in the play. Like he knows he's kind of, I guess he's been there enough where he should be able to have some more success and get Green Bay into the playoffs and then be able to advance. Where's your expectation for this guy now?
Well, I think this is kind of a subjective thing because I'm not basing it on any specific stat, but he needs to lead them to wins.
Yeah.
He's being paid like the guy who's leading his team to wins because Aaron Rodgers, he led his team to wins. You go to other quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, these all-pro quarterbacks. Yeah, Brett Favre. Like, they led their teams to wins. Now, they didn't always play great statistically, though pretty much all those guys were usually good statistically. But one way or another, they made plays that led their teams to win. There are other guys who play well statistically, but they're not leading their teams to win. Matt Stafford, Kirk Cousins, they're guys who have thrown for 5,000 plus yards. Jameis Winston, he's thrown for 5,000 yards. But just because you're good on the stat sheet, like Jordan Love was really good on the stat sheet for the last half of 2023. And he was leading the team to wins for the most part. So, that's kind of what you want to see from him, but you got to see it for a full season.
Yeah.
Last year kind of got excused because he had a lingering injury, and that supposedly kind of hurt his effectiveness. But this year, with how much effort Green Bay put into trying to get this roster around him, even working through some bad luck, because Watson, he's going to be out until late this season. They drafted 2 wide receivers. They lost a guy on the offensive line, but they brought in more guys, drafted some guys. Trying to keep guys around on defense for the most part. They're trying to put the best roster around him they can, and they're investing in him. So now, I say this a lot about Jalen Rose. He's been put in a great opportunity. He needs to go out and make the most of it. Jordan Love doesn't really have any excuses. Barring him getting injured again, he doesn't have any excuses. The buck stops with him at this point. He's the man in the chair. He needs to be leading the team.
By the way, Kyrie Rowan, the Denver Broncos held a joint practice with the San Francisco 49ers, and this was against reserves, but the practice ended with a long pass from Sam Ehlinger to Kyrie Rowan, and he was recognized as having the 2 longest catches of the day, including that deep post touchdown to end practice.
He got that speed. Wasn't Ehlinger a former Texas quarterback or something? Crazy.
So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see. Rowan, by the way, number 39, it will be his jersey when hopefully he gets to see the field.
I think
tomorrow.
He will. I mean, you should be able to see him when they're getting a bit deep into their depth chart. He'll get some reps and hopefully balls out so we can get a little higher on the depth chart.
Yeah.
But that's a tricky thing to do. Wide receiver depth charts can be tricky to climb up.
5452 texting in, kind of getting back to one of our earlier questions. I will be extremely disappointed if I'm at the MAV and watch the Aggies lose to UTEP after all the secrecy around this football team What are we hiding if they are a crappy team? For that reason, I'm anxious to see the team play.
Sorry, Jason, I apologize. And I think you and I talked about this. They have the hardest schedule in the Mountain West Conference. Like the hardest schedule.
As far as in conference?
Yeah, and even outside. You got Texas A&M, you got Vanderbilt. I mean, there's not a lot of gimmies here. I don't see him losing to UTEP, but when we get into the thick of the schedule of that non-conference, if you will, we're going to find out actually how good this football team is. Vanderbilt beat Bama last year. I think they're going to be a bowl team this year. A&M's A&M at College Station, But then that in the critical parts of the non-conference schedule, the islands of Hawaii, San Jose State, and then you've got at New Mexico, which is going to have a bunch of emotions, and then that last part, the last 3 games, UNLV, Fresno on the road, and then home against Boise on the mothership of CBS. Man, this is going to be really intriguing. If they get to 6-6, I'm going to be absolutely elated for this football team.
The thing is, they have, I've said they have like 5 or 6 winnable games. But
there's a path to bowl eligibility.
Yeah, but like the games that I don't really consider that winnable are like hard nose on I don't think they're going to win. Like, again, Vanderbilt, Texas. I know some Aggie fans are optimistic about Vanderbilt, and justifiably so. I don't want to dismiss those because I think there's a good logical through line there. But, Boise State, UNLV, Fresno, it's like a lot of these are like, no. I don't see them winning that. But there's a bunch of games where it's like, I can see them winning. UTEP, Hawaii.
Do you have Air Force?
Air Force is kind of a toss-up.
Dude, that's what I said, too.
Like it's
50-50 on that one.
And it depends on how well they bounce back.
Yeah,
because if they're like they are last season, the Aggies got a pretty good chance because that
it's not often that they are down for multiple seasons.
That offense was horrible last year for Air Force, and they honestly, there's a chance they're about as bad this year because it's hard for them to rebuild. It might be hard for them to rebuild in the transfer portal era when they can lose guys now to more than just graduation.
Hey, we got to take a time out here on the Full Court Press. When we come back, we will reveal the latest player that we're highlighting in our top 25 Aggies for 2025. Always love to get your reactions as well. 435-339-0321.
The patio is open. The chips are endless. Drinks on tap. It's got to be Cafe Sabor. Cache Valley's best Mexican restaurant, gold winner in the Best of Northern Utah contest. Experience Locals Day every Thursday with a huge burrito, endless chips and soda, only $7.95. That's a complete lunch for just $7.95. Finding any lunch under $10 is nearly impossible. Every Thursday, drinks, chips, and massive burrito, just $7.95. The patio, the sun, the fun at Cafe Sabor in the historic train station on 6th Weston Center in Logan.
When grid failures and severe weather cause power outages, your business might take a hit, or at home, you could lose your refrigerated food storage. Generac Standby Power Solutions help ensure an uninterrupted power supply. Generac is the #1 brand of standby generators. Get yours today from Golden Spike Electric, your trusted source for safety and security. Golden Spike Electric, powering your peace of mind. Online at gsegenerators.com or call 257-3016. They also service other models.
A diamond is forever and is perfect to represent your love. For those special occasions, give her a natural, one-of-a-kind diamond, as unique as she is. Our exclusive brand of Needham Brilliant Diamonds are white in color, high in clarity, and are recognized for their precise cut. These diamonds are natural, untreated, and are the real thing. Show her you care enough to give her a diamond, an investment for generations to come. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 7, where Utah gets engaged. SC Needham Jewelers, middle of the block, at the sign of the clock.
The Full Court Press. Connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, and online at 1069thefan.com.
If you ride it, they've probably got the part at Young Power Sports of Logan. And they've got a big warehouse parts sale coming up on Saturday, August 16th. It's from 10 to 4:30. So don't miss its one-day blowout. And, great deals on a lot of parts. Save up to 75% only at Young Power Sports of Logan. We've been highlighting Utah State football as this season has been a little bit unique compared to others, where it's hard to specifically rank players, but we're still going through and highlighting the top 25 Aggies for 2025. And let's get to the latest on our list and discuss how we think he can really help the team this year.
The Cache Valley Media Group's annual Top 25 Aggies continues today with another player reveal. The next player on the list to be revealed is wide receiver Brady Boyd. The native of Southlake, Texas, stands 6'1", weighs 195 pounds, and brings the most amount of experience to the new-look Utah State Aggie wide receiver core. Boyd is a transfer from Texas Tech, where he appeared in 26 games across the seasons, catching 19 passes for 173 yards. Prior to that, he played one season at Minnesota, appearing in 9 games.
Yeah, the Texas Tech transfer. Look, there are unknowns about this wide receiver core, but one thing I think is pretty clear. They've got size, and I think they do have talent. We'll just see how well they get on the same page with the quarterbacks. But Brady Boyd, that's one of the wide receivers I'm really excited to see this year for Utah State.
I think most people are looking at him as a guy that should be playing, should be the top of the depth chart. He does have that, that experience at the Power 5 level, playing in a lot of games, but, not playing at receiver for a ton of those. But the dude has 21 catches in his career for almost 200 yards. He caught a touchdown as a sophomore for Texas Tech. That's where he played the most. He had 13 catches for $125 and that one touchdown in 2022. But we've seen guys come in, not play very much at the wide receiver group, and then, when they're at Power 5 schools, I'm thinking COC Mariner mainly, but there have been others who have done similarly where they didn't play a whole lot. They step in with the Aggies. They have the 1, maybe 2 good years. And, I think that's you're going to see there's several guys that could fit that bill. Braden Pagan, excuse me.
Yeah.
Pagan could be in a similar vein, though he doesn't have as much experience because he's only like a sophomore, a redshirt sophomore. But I think that Boyd has the tools to be probably the top wide receiver, or at least a top wide receiver. I'm expecting him to be in the top 2 for the Aggies this season.
Yeah, the great thing about what Brady is he's got one speed. Go. Like he's going to be your guy that you can send on a fade, on a deep vertical or whatever. If he, and he's got great footwork too. Like you watch him at Texas Tech, and I watched a few highlights of him running routes, and I love how he defines his route. When I say define, he's going to run like a 5-yard out, right? But he makes it with the footwork. He makes it so clean, and there's no stumbles, there's no missteps. It's 5 yards and boom, and that's important for quarterbacks because they have a timing they have to go with. And when you have a guy with good footwork and with good speed, it makes it really easy to know where to put the ball.
Yeah, and you need receivers who can elevate their quarterback. We've seen receivers like Devin Tompkins just made Logan Bonner. Jalen Royals really helped out. His quarterbacks really helped out Cooper Legas and Spencer Petras and whatnot. You need those wide receivers who can elevate their quarterbacks and make them look good, make good catches. Because, Bryson Barnes, bless his heart, he's not the best downfield thrower. Mm-hmm. But if you can get a special downfield receiver, he can make up for a lot of mistakes. That ball's slightly off, but, in whether it's Brady Boyd or whether it's somebody else, if there's somebody who's just going to go up there, be a man, and get that ball, then Bryson Barnes could have a special passing season if he's got wide receivers that are capable of, again, elevating the quarterback by making those big plays.
And Eric, I think that's what makes, you look at like Devin Tompkins, and I love what you said, Jason, but Eric, Devin Tompkins, Derek Wright, Brandon Bowling, those kind of, that 3 trio in 2021, what they were really good at is if Bonner did have an off throw, if it was within their radius, and they had a heck of a radius, they could make the catch. Like, you just put it in the radius, I'll go get the ball. And I think this Brady kid could maybe be one of those guys like Jalen Royals was.
Yeah, Devin had a huge catch radius. He would go up and
it was ridiculous.
Go get the ball, where we've seen some wide receivers, if it's not right in their hands, they can't get it.
Yeah.
But Devin would go and find ways to go.
Like Bonner put a lot of passes on the dot, but there was usually like that one pass per game that he'd throw deep to Tompkins, and I was like, that's not a very accurate ball. Oh, he caught it anyway.
Yeah, that was kind of like one of those.
Just throw it in his area.
Yeah, that's kind of like one of those. Screw it, I'll just throw it down there. He's there somewhere.
Yeah, basically.
But and again, I think this could be really key. The receiving core is going to have to be really key in helping this offense move the ball downfield. They're going to run the ball as much as I think they will.
Yeah, but look at the wide receivers for Utah State, at least those that you expect to be kind of in the mix. Brady Boyd is 6'1". Pagan is 6'3". Of course, you got the freshman. What's his name? Not going to find him. Caleb Mitchell, 6'6". I don't know how much he's going to get used, but Jackson Olsen, he's 6'4". So you've got a good host of wide receivers that have that size that are going to be great targets for a quarterback who may not be super accurate, but if you got that size and physicality, they're going to give themselves a chance.
And go make plays like Justin McGriff. Like, God bless him. Man, he had great size, great build, made very little effort to go get a football. I mean, we talk about the radius, right? Even when it was in his radius, it was all stick out one hand to try and catch this pass. Good size, I love that, but make a doggone effort to go get a ball.
Size wasted on lack of effort.
Yes. Yeah, it's like there is somehow not nearly as much correlation as we think between size and practical catch radius. And so and mind you, these guys have size, but you hope that they have that. Again, I don't know if I'm inventing a term, practical catch radius, because Devin Tompkins, his was practically enormous.
Yeah.
It was like he was a 7-footer out there. And, we talk about McGriff, he's 6'6", and his was about his catch radius is as big as mine, and I've got a 3-inch vertical. It's like, you got to go out there and just be a baller. Calvin Johnson, he was like 6'2", 6'3", and he's like,
oh, he's ridiculous.
He is basically the reason that the NFL still runs fade routes in the end zones, because Calvin Johnson made a career off of it, and everyone else thinks they can do it.
Yeah.
So you got to hope that some of these guys who have good sizes, that helps. Like, Calvin Johnson and guys like Randy Moss, like they were those elite jump ball receivers, partly because they were 6'4", but partly because they went out there and they won the ball and they said, that ball is mine. Sucks to be you. So Utah State needs one of these guys to be that, whether it's one of these 6-foot receivers like Demick Starling, or whether it's one of these 6'2", 6'3" guys like Brady Boyd or Braden Pagan.
Hey, best receiver in Aggie history: Kevin Curtis, Devin Tompkins, or Jalen Royals? Who'd you say?
It's tough because, at their peak, you can make an argument for all of those. And I didn't watch Kevin Curtis play, so I'm at a disadvantage.
Oh, he was incredible. He was stupid
fast.
ridiculous.
I think for career, it's Curtis. For one season dominance, it's probably Tompkins.
It's just crazy how close Royals is in that group.
Yeah, I know, because
it's so amazing.
Yeah, Royals had those 15 touchdowns and was just a dominant
he was
player.
incredible.
Yeah, it's tricky.
All right, we got to take another timeout here in the Full Court Press. Since we're talking about former Aggies, let's talk about a few that are playing Eurobasket. Let's go to talk basketball for a minute. Eurobasket is going on. A couple of former Aggies are playing well, and a current Jazz man is playing very well.
Two current Jazz men are playing Eurobasket. I don't know if you can remember who the other one is.
It's not George Nang.
No, it's not.
Sadly, sorry.
I wonder
Ajay.
why.
Well, he's American, so
sorry, birthday boy.
He can't play Eurobasket.
Italian medallion.
It's coming up next on the Full Court Press.
Flabby arms.
Happy birthday, Ajay.
No.
Bright green cars. That's the only thing you need to remember as you're driving down Main Street in Logan looking for Jarek's Fine Jewelry. Hi, this is Jarek. We have a lot of people comment on the bright green cars outside, and some even talk about the building, but the overwhelming responses come when they step inside. Jarek's showroom was created to offer an intimate, romantic setting for couples to enjoy their ring buying experience. Everyone is treated like a friend with no price negotiation needed. Make your engagement special. Make it Jarek's. Come see us at 930 North Main in Logan. Just look for the bright green cars.
Who do you turn to if you want to change out your wood or pellet stove? Advanced Fireplace and Stove. They were voted the gold medalist for Best of Northern Utah for the 5th year in a row in the fireplace retrofit category. Be ready when the government's next wood and pellet replacement incentives pop up. Advanced Fireplace can help you navigate the paperwork. For more information, call Advanced Fireplace and Stove, 752-7272. Online at advancedfireplaceandstove.com.
No matter what the conditions, DD Auto and Salvage can get your vehicle up and off your property. Now is the time to plan to make extra cash by calling DD Auto and Salvage and moving that old vehicle. Let them pay you for that junk vehicle. DD Auto and Salvage makes it so easy to get rid of your junker vehicles, paying you the most money possible. If you have metal, DD Auto and Salvage in Logan wants to pay you today. Call 787-1204. That's 787-1204 today. See store for details.
Talking the sports you care about. The Full Court Press on Sports Talk Radio, 106.9 FM, 1390 AM. The Fan.
Weather has been warm. Today was actually a little bit cooler, but it'll warm back up.
Which is a good thing. So I was on the Logan football field earlier today.
But Napa has what you need to be prepared when that temperature climbs back up, which it will. Napa Legend and Napa AAA batteries get $25 rebates on Bosch lithium-ion batteries. They'll even test yours to make sure if it needs to be replaced or not. Go check it out at your locally owned Napa Auto Parts store from Preston to Providence. So Eurobasket is going on right now, and got a couple of former Aggies involved.
Yeah, let's see if we can name them all off. Oh, actually, you can cheat because it's on the list. Ajay, no peeking.
Have you already seen the list?
No.
Okay, so can you name all the former Utah State or Jazz player or former Utah State or current Jazz players that are playing in Eurobasket?
So Diogo Brito and Emilia Chiqueta are the two obvious ones to me.
Yep, they're both playing for Portugal.
Oh, they're on the same team?
Yeah, both Portuguese.
Okay.
That Portuguese pipeline at Utah State.
Man, that's great. That's awesome. You said former Utah Jazz guy, or is it
current Utah Jazz guy? I'm going to go with current.
So Lauri Markkanen's got to be one of those.
Yeah, Markkanen's playing for Finland.
Oh my gosh, come on now.
So the two other former Aggies, one is from Poland and one is from Great Britain.
Is there a Nurkic guy?
Nurkic. He's playing for Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Wait, really?
And he's on the Jazz roster.
That's right.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. I was just thinking because I saw a highlight of him like doing some crazy pass in Eurobasket, and I was like, "Sweet."
Yeah,
that's right. I forgot about Yusuf Nurkic.
He's a current Jazz man. So yeah, there's two former Aggies. One played for Britain. They're playing, and the other.
I
is
forgot
from Poland.
Nurkic was on the Jazz. I just saw him make a sick pass the other night, or like on Twitter. I was like, "Oh, that guy is awesome." I forgot. Oh wow, okay, we got a pretty cool big.
So you got the one that I would never have gotten. So can you get the other former Aggies?
Oh geez. There's Yogo, there's Nemish, there is
Give you a hint, they both transferred away from Utah State to play their final years.
No.
Not Shogo, that's a good guess, but Ukraine's not Ukraine's not in Eurobasket.
I don't know.
Josh Aduje, he's playing for Great Britain.
Oh, yeah.
And then Shimon Zapala is playing for Poland.
Oh, Shimon. Oh, man. I love that dude. Dude, he was a good free throw shooter.
Yeah, so you got six. So four former Aggies and two Jazz men that you're kind of paying attention to in Eurobasket. And Eric, as you mentioned, Lauri Markkanen in like 20-something minutes scored 48 points, a career high for him in international play.
48 points in 25 minutes.
Which is absurd because they play a lot fewer minutes in European and international basketball. I think they play like 10-minute quarters or something like that. So, it's like 8/5. It's like a college game, basically. You're playing fewer minutes. And they tend not to be as high scoring anyway. Score 48, and remember, I remember back when he was traded to the Jazz and he was balling out in some European competition, and I was like, oh, he's not going to be that good. Don't pay attention. NBA players always put up tons of points in Euro. And then he goes and be an all-star for the Jazz, and so it's like, okay, him balling out in Euro ball heralded his all-star season. Are we about to see the return of Lauri Markkanen to full form?
I was about to ask you guys, should they trade him? I'm being dead serious because his value is so high.
I think the problem is that his value will probably get back to its highest this year because right now, he sat out a lot of games. He had a down year last year.
Yeah.
I don't think his value is as high, but if he gets back to where he was a couple years ago, his value skyrockets. And I think the Jazz are more likely to trade him because Danny Ainge was, give me the sun on a gold platter and you can have Lauri Markkanen.
Yeah.
He was selling him for the price of Michael Jordan himself. And Austin Ainge came in, and as far as other players, like the Danny Ainge was probably holding out, he was holding out for higher picks for Colin Sexton and John Collins. Austin just gave them away.
Yeah.
Paid teams to take them on. And so I think he'll lower the price on Lauri Markkanen.
Which I don't like.
Yeah, which I was fine with and borderline advocating for trading Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert to start a reset. And also in the case, if you're going to trade one of them, trade both of them. I don't know if I was really advocating. I'd have to go back and see what I said at the time, but I was perfectly fine with them doing it at the very least. But I feel uncomfortable with trading Lauri Markkanen. I don't know if I can articulate it as well as I'd like. It's just that gut feeling of it doesn't feel like it would be the right move. It felt like a logical, and I don't know if I want to say right, but it was a logical move to trade Donovan and Rudy. It just doesn't feel as good to trade Lauri. It just feels like you're just tearing things down.
Do we want to do
more.
this again? You're resetting your whole entire organization for another 2-3 years.
Yeah, it's just this perpetual cycle of suck.
At some point, if you don't care, then get rid of him.
Right. You have to start to lean in with what you have.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if they
have some confidence.
And if they don't start trying to, this is the last year that I think they can really tank and keep Lauri Markkanen as part of this.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And so if they don't feel like they're going to be on the up and up after this season, they should trade Lauri next offseason. and go from there.
Sure.
Or at the deadline.
Yeah, or the deadline. That's possible. If he's having an all-star season, you could trade him. And if you feel like you're going to be tanking or, kind of down in the dumps for a few extra years, you can trade him away. I don't like that. I like Lauri Markkanen, really attached to him, but and he's amazing. He likes being here in Utah, but you don't want to waste his career being sat every other game.
And he doesn't want to waste his career either.
Yeah, he's in his prime.
Yeah,
he wants to be performing at his prime and have an opportunity to win games and compete at the highest level.
Yeah, so you got to be able to do that for him. So it'd be a mercy to potentially trade him.
Hey, excited to talk. Utah State football opponents starting. You guys see your opponent preview coming up here. I'm excited about that.
Leading the next hour, opponent preview, Texas A&M.
Oh, can't wait.
Aggie on Aggie violence.
I know it was so hard to write that preview because usually I'm like, I alternate between, saying the team name and their nickname and all that. And it's like, I can't write Aggies at any point in the preview because then I'm not emphasizing who that is. And sometimes I wanted to say the Texas Aggies. It's kind of a fun little thing. But then there's the University of Texas, so I can't use that phrase. It was just, it's
A&M.
Yeah. But A&M is bulky.
More next hour here on the Full Court Press.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. Anthony Richardson has the kind of raw talent that makes scouts salivate. Size, speed, arm strength, playmaking instincts that you can't teach. But talent's only part of the equation. For the Colts QB, availability is just as important. Through the first 2 NFL seasons, he's suited up for just 15 games. Not nearly enough to know if he can truly harness all that potential. And his 2025 season isn't off to a promising start either. Last night's preseason matchup with the Ravens, he was knocked out in the first quarter after a hit from a free rusher. May not have been entirely his fault, but it's another reminder that staying upright is the biggest hurdle between Richardson and stardom. The Colts believe they have their franchise QB, and they might be right. But if he can't string together a full, healthy season, that conversation is going to stop. Richardson's ceiling is sky high. The challenge now is really simple in theory, difficult in practice. Stay on the field long enough to prove it. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise.